Hello fat stringers and low-end lovers. Okay, today we have another guest speaker. We have Jaco at Digthatbass.com. I believe it's Digthatbass.com, yes it is. This is a fantastic lesson, Jaco, Pastorius, Kuru. Really quite quick line, advanced stuff, and he does a really good job of teaching. Go over there, check his channel out. He's got loads and loads of lessons. He's a really good communicator, and I want to get behind his lessons because I think they're really good. He does an intro, so I'm just going to let him carry on. Sorry it's taken so long, my friend. Yeah, it's been very busy over here, and everybody else that wants to be a guest teacher, it is going to happen. You are in a line, it's going to happen. It's just I've been real busy. Anyway, without further ado, Digthatbass.com.
Hi there people on YouTube, this is Jaco from Digthatbass.com, and this is a very special lesson because this will go to the channel of Chris Rogers, aka Demon Lamius from LearnBass.net. I'm sure you all know this guy. He's very nice and funny, and he was among the very first guys who ever made free bass lessons on YouTube. And I recently learned that he's retiring his channel, and he was generous enough to invite guest teachers to be featured on his channel, and that's why I'm here. And for that, I want to say a big thank you for Chris. And people, I want to ask you something. Chris is doing a video every day this year. This is his last low-end warrior quest. And this is a ton of work, as you may know it. Or if you have ever prepared a video, you might know how much work it can go into a single video. So people, I'm asking you to follow this link. That way you can support Chris and send him any love or anything with which you can support him. That's the least you can give back for the much bass love he has given throughout the years. Thank you for that. First of all, I have to tell you I'm not really sure about the first few notes of the ascending line, because that's pretty hard to hear on the 76 record. However, I recently listened to the demo version of this song from Modern American Music, which was released last year. If you haven't heard that, check that out. And there you can pretty much hear clearly what Jaco plays. And there Jaco plays A, C, D, E for the first few notes. However, when I slowed down the 76 record, I pretty much hear what I have transcribed in the lesson. So that kind of smeared hammer-on thing, you can hear that one. So all I can say is that choose whichever is easier to you and play that version. Also, you might notice the fingering I'm using. It might seem strange to some of you because it incorporates an open string in the ascending line. And you might ask yourself why I am doing this. And there are a few reasons. First of all, that way I'm limiting the difficult part to the two lightest strings, the D and the G. And the lighter the strings, the easier I can play. Secondly, that way my right hand doesn't really have to move, so it can stay in one position, and that way it can go faster. So that's a good reason as well. Third, when you listen to this ascending line, you can hear that some notes are accented. And I figured that almost always that accented note is the G, which I'm playing on the open string. So I thought if I use this fingering, it is easier to accent that note. That brings a little problem because your left hand has to do some extra work. It has to leave some space for that open string to ring out. I try to show you that slow. Of course the movement and the accents will be exaggerated, but you will see how the left hand leaves space for that open string accented note. continues. So what you have to do is to lift your left hand as the open string is played so that note can ring out, and then quickly fret the next note. As this gets faster, it gets a bit tricky, but once you have mastered it slow, it won't pose a problem when you go faster. And one more advice about how to practice this. You know, Kuru is often mentioned when we talk about Jaco's incredible groove and stamina. And, you know, it's pretty crazy that he actually plays this unison line after playing that hard groove for about 2 minutes. And that's why I advise to practice the groove first when you go up the tempo. So first get the feel of the tempo, and then when you master the groove at the tempo, go to the unison line. Then when you master the unison line at the tempo, put the two together, and that way you can avoid what I have noticed I tend to do, and that is I cramp up when a difficult part comes. And I noticed that by looking at my right hand, and whenever that unison line came, I noticed that my right hand was pulling the strings against the pickups, and that way I knew I was going to cramp up and I couldn't play that line in that round. So I try to look at my right hand and make sure that it moves as little as possible, and that way I knew my hand was relaxed and it could play the line fluently and smoothly. So I think that's all about Jaco's Kuru's unison line, and thanks for watching. And
didn't you forget something, Low End Warrior? Did you hit like? Did you subscribe? Did you send Chris some love? Have you clicked on that support button? Do so now, because I'll be watching it.